What's up guys, welcome back. It's been a while, but today I'm bringing you 25 more interesting facts you didn't know about Smite. I'll leave a link to the original video of 25 interesting facts in the description if you want to watch that one as well, but let's jump right into it. Fact number 1. The Manticore was the original AI controlled enemy you would fight in practice mode. Hi-Rez made an April Fool's video for the fake 3.5.5 patch notes as a god reveal in massive air quotes for the Manticore, which portrayed him as a playable ranged mage. He had an entire kit of abilities, such as his ultimate that summoned neutral bosses to fight for him, including the Fire Giant, the Siege Juggernaut, and Titans. Still not as OP as Release Guan though, am I right boys? Fact number 2. There was a point back in closed beta when all basic attacks did physical damage, no matter what the primary damage type of your god. So Freya and Yamiya, for example, did physical basic attack damage and made good use of items like Deathbringer, but still did magical ability damage. Fact number 3. There was an active back in Smite's closed beta phase called Motivate. Actives was the old name for relics, by the way, for those who don't know. This is notorious for being one of the most OP actives to ever enter the game at that point. It will buff all minions around you significantly and allow you to push really fast. When you consider the fact that you can stack multiple Motivates onto a single minion wave and take towers in a matter of seconds early game, the entire dual lane meta at this point was just buy 2 Motivates and rush the enemy tower at level 1. It was fucking stupid. Fact number 4. In a similar vein to Motivate, there used to be another active back in closed beta called Turn Minions. As the name might suggest, this active turned enemy minions to fight for you instead. So similarly to Motivate at level 1, you could push with 12 minions at level 1 if you wanted to. As you may have guessed, it was pretty fucking OP and it got removed from the game shortly after being introduced. Fact number 5. In Smite's early beta phase, it was possible to carry more than one buff. This led to junglers being incredibly powerful as they could carry something like red and speed buff at the same time, for example. And Odin, with the health and protection buffs that existed back then, was pretty much unkillable in the early game and was a real powerhouse back then. Fact number 6. At one point during Smite's history, Cupid was a mage. This was back when auto attacks did physical damage on every god, as I mentioned before, so Cupid did magical damage with his abilities but physical damage with his auto attacks. His class was eventually changed to make him the hunter that he is today though. Fact number 7. Mercury's passive is named Fastest God Alive. As an ode to this, Hi-Rez have made him the fastest god in Smite, but only by a single movement speed. He's at 381 movement speed compared to a few others in the game that only have 380. Fact number 8. A long time ago, in a land far, far away, the Fire Giant would spawn at 1 minute in just like the Gold Fury used to. This was a crazy time with people trying 5-minute Fire Giants with stuff like Old Arachne and her egg pods. Needless to say, it's been changed and now spawns at 10 minutes instead. Fact number 9. There was a tribute to Allied, a professional Smite player and streamer, in the Conquest map near the Pyromancer. It was added way back in Season 4 after Allied passed away from cancer back in July 2017, and it was added back into the Season 5 Conquest map where he got a pentakill. Fact number 10. In Odin's first iteration, his ultimate actually did damage to everyone that walked near the edges of his ultimate. Similar to a Ganesha ultimate type thing, but you couldn't walk through it, it was still a physical barrier. You just took damage when you were near it. This was removed as Odin back then was already insanely OP even without all that extra damage. Fact number 11. While we're on the topic of abilities that used to do damage, Thor's Wall used to do a pretty hefty chunk of damage back in the day when he was originally released as a warrior, but instead of stunning it only slowed. A damaging Thor Wall on top of the stun would have been AIDS, so I'm glad they didn't keep the damage on it when they changed it to be a stun. Fact number 12. Smite's original Clash map takes place right next to the Conquest map. If you look off the Gold Fury side of the Clash map, you could see the Order side Temple and the Chaos side Volcano, as well as the beach of Duo Lane and a few other things from the Season 4 Conquest map. And vice versa, you could see the side of the Clash map if you looked off the Duo Lane side of the Season 4 Conquest map. As far as I know, this is no longer the case with the newer maps though. Fact number 13. On the topic of maps, in the Assault map you can see 2 wolf heads devouring the sun and moon in the sky. This is a reference to Skull and Hattie, probably butchering those names, who chase the sun and moon across the sky, as it's said that the 2 wolves will devour Sol and Mani, the personifications of the sun and the moon, when Ragnarok comes, since the Assault map is supposed to take place during Ragnarok. Fact number 14. Medusa's statues created by her ultimate can block unit movement. This allows for some crazy stuff like stacking up minion waves to the point where they instantly destroy a tower when they get in range. They can also be used to bounce things off like Hui's Ricochet, Medusa's own Acid Spray ability, or Kuzenbo's Nene Kappa. Also a bonus fact for Medusa's ultimate, if she kills an ulting Vamana with it, she makes a giant statue, so that's fun. Fact number 15. Way back even before the closed beta of Smite, the big jungle boss was the Kraken. This was obviously later replaced with the Fire Giant, and the Kraken was reused as Poseidon's ultimate later on. Fact number 16. While channeling Guan Yu's ultimate, the speed you move at is actually dependent off your current movement speed, rather than like setting it to a certain value. This means that with lots of movement speed items, you can be one of the fastest gods in the game while on the horse. It's a common myth that it's also true with attack speed and his swings, but that's not actually true, I've tested that. Fact number 17. Until quite recently, you were able to jump over a Janus portal if you had enough movement speed. I'm talking spacebar jump, not like an ability jump. So much for not impacting gameplay mechanics, eh, Hi-Rez? Fact number 18. The way Fafnir's coerce ability's damage is actually dealt, it counts as his damage, even when applied by a different god. This allows for some cool interactions, such as being able to apply Gem of Isolation, Spear of the Magus, Ethereal Staff, Soul Reaver, Divine Ruin, and a few other items from it. He can also lifesteal from the damage dealt by coerce as well. Fact number 19. When his army was first released, there was a bug where you could auto-attack cancel over and over infinitely with her dash and bypass the attack speed cap. This was obviously nerfed pretty quickly as you could almost insta-clear a wave at level 1. Fact number 20. Due to the way executes work in the game, it was actually possible to survive a Thanatos execute without the use of immunities like Aegis. Since executes aren't actually coded to insta-kill the target, they simply do 9,999 true damage. So a long time ago, you could stack up % damage reduction using Bacchus passive and items to 94%. That would reduce the 9999 true damage dealt by Hovering Death, which was the only execute around at the time when this was done, down to around 600, which was possible to survive with enough health. If you're still confused as to how that works, don't worry, I was as well. I'll leave a link to a post in the description about it. Fact number 21. I'm sure that for most of you watching, the mid-harpies are the only thing you've known to be attached to the mid lane. But way back in closed beta, the map layout was actually such that the red buffs for each team were situated on each side of the mid lane. Naturally, this led to a lot of contention of the red buffs as they were in a neutral position rather than further back where invading is riskier. Fact number 22. If two Sylvanuses use Nature's Grasp, his third ability, on each other at the same time, they'll actually just trade places. Fact number 23. The hard cap for magical lifesteal in Smite is 67%. This meant that pre-nerf Bancroft's Talon, which had 20% lifesteal instead of 15, would actually allow Anubis to reach the lifesteal cap in one item if he was low enough. This is due to the passive on Bancroft's Talon giving more healing when you're lower, and also Anubis' passive doubling his lifesteal. So in theory, he would get 20%, doubled to 40% from Bancroft's, and then doubled again to 80%. But obviously it caps out at 67%, so he could immediately hit the lifesteal cap off of a single item. This is no longer possible now though, as Bancroft only gives 15%, so it's a maximum of 60% lifesteal with Guba's passive. Fact number 24. In the VGS system, all Titan related commands such as attack the Titan, defend the Titan, enemies that are Titan, etc. all end in M instead of T. This is because the Minotaur was the end objective way back in the closed beta, and the M can't be changed because it would be too complicated to change it back to a T like right when everyone's known it as M. And fact number 25. To get the maximum account level of 160 in Smite, you require a whopping 5,563,002 XP. Really puts it in perspective that I'm account level 149 already in this game. Since 3 seconds in a match is equivalent to 1 XP at the end of the game, that would take a whopping 4,635.8 hours of in-game time to go from level 1 to level 160. This is assuming no double XP or other XP modifiers or something. Thanks for watching, guys. Let me know any cool facts that weren't in this video. If there's enough, I could potentially make a part 3 to this series. But anyway, share the video around and subscribe for more content like this every week, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out, nerds.